nothing else, life is too short to be taken too seriously. And if you don't have fun doing it? Why do it at all? I've had some business experiences where I've tried to sort of go into them and say, this is good business. And I've disregarded the fact that the people I'm doing it with aren't either fun to do it with or don't share the same values, right? And those times it has not turned out well.
Okay.
Because I've just realized that I'm only doing it for money, and that's not a driving force for me. That's not why I'm alive.
We invited Donnie, saying that he was a guest of a very special podcast. He was used to go to Asia and India in particular, and have loads of people coming to his lectures. Thousands, asking signatures. We said, yeah, our podcast as well is as big as, not as much. Well, actually, we are completely alone in the loneliness of Bologna on the hills. The venue is very beautiful. And this is actually the first episode of the podcast that we are recording that is called Empowering Innovators. It's the podcast of AlmaCube, where we interview entrepreneurs, innovators, venture capitalists, policy makers from the community of AlmaCube, of which you belong to now. I am Giacomo Venezia, founder of Delizia Media, and we have a very special guest coming from Sweden. He's an entrepreneur for several years, innovators, very famous keynote speaker. He's also gym instructor for over 30 years and innovation specialist and strategist at KTH Donnie Sc Lygonis. Donnie, thank you very much for being here. It's a big pleasure.
Thanks for having me. I'm thrilled to be here.
How
Fantastic.
are you?
I'm great. This is great.
This is great. That's the first time for you in Bologna.
First time in Bologna, yes.
You've been doing startups since 30 years. You have a very beautiful career, CVs and everything, blah, blah, blah. 9 startups, 3 exits and stuff. And you started in the 90s.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Most of you don't even know what that is, but it was a long time ago. Yes.
But the word startup was like...
No, it was even called startups. It was called like a small company back then. I mean, there was like it was just that, I mean, Sweden had this early stage. It was 96, 97, like this first like internet boom thing going up. It was like pre-startup in Sweden, but it was like the first sort of boom of new companies coming up. And me and my sister, we were thinking of, what to do now. I'd been working my first job, which still, I still say it was the most creatively demanding job I've ever had. I was in the army for 9 years.
Yeah, but you already broke all the questions that I was preparing.
Yeah, I know. I have them all. Don't worry. And then I was coming out of that, and then my sister was coming out of. She'd been running a course at the business school, and we said, well, let's start something together. So then we started our first company in I think it was 96 or 97, and it was a publisher of kids computer games, because we'd both been in education. I'd been working with computers. And we felt that translations in general, because we're bilingual, English, Swedish, and translations in general were kind of sucky, so we started a company to translate foreign games into Swedish, and that was our first company. And then from there, it's just been, going on. I love starting stuff. I love starting something and seeing, is this going to work? So that's why I love my job at the university, because I get to meet so many incredible people who want my help with starting stuff.
Okay.
So,
You like starting, but also closing it, because you did
closing is fun, especially if it's a successful exit or close.
I love that you love the word fun. Can you just read a little piece of the description of your first startup experience? After saying what he did with his sister, so we started Romflix Interactive, since we saw this need, blah, 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 and we work with these companies. Yet, at the end, I met some really good friends during the period and still hang out with some of you. You all know who you are, so you have this fun part in the job, in creating.
Well, that has to be there, because I mean, if nothing else, life is too short to be taken too seriously, and if you don't have fun doing it? Why do it at all? I've had some business experiences where I've tried to sort of go into them and say, this is good business, and I've disregarded the fact that the people I'm doing it with aren't either fun to do it with or don't share the same values, right? And those times it has not turned out well.
Okay.
Because I've just realized that I'm only doing it for money, and that's not a driving force for me. That's not why I'm alive. That's not why I do it. So
I love that you said at first that a very creative part of your education or your life was really working in the army.
Yeah.
That is unusual for sure for entrepreneurs that started doing business.
No, but the thing was, Sweden is a very, very big, I mean, in comparison to the number of people, Sweden is a very big country, and so we're always too few to cover the. So if you're in the Swedish army, you always have to do a lot of things, and everybody has to do a lot of things. You always have 10 different hats, and we were made up out of everybody did their army service, so it was like the normal guys and girls from every day that did their yearly thing. So you had all walks of life come in, do it. I was in the engineers. That's how I got my very practical engineering education.
Okay.
And for us, it was. Every day was a new challenge. It was, okay, Lygonis, over there, we need a bridge on Thursday. It has to take 65 tons. They'll be here. Yeah, they'll be here on Thursday at 12 noon. If it's not done by 12 noon, it's going to hurt. And it's not like you can miss a deadline. I mean, because then it is.
They're not.
Then it's in the army, it's deadline, for real. I mean, so you can't miss a deadline. And then it's like, okay. And you're always understaffed. You don't have the right equipment. You always have the wrong equipment. There's always something that doesn't work. And so you just look at all of the people you have in front of you and you say, okay, people, we have this challenge. I have no idea how to solve it. Anybody have any ideas? Hand up and let's get cracking. And every day was like a new creative challenge of just making it work. And just make it work. It was the mentality of just push through and make it work. So when I came out into civilian life, one of the biggest surprises was that people gave up so easily. And it was like, it's boring, it hurts, and I don't have time. It's like, hey, dude, it has to be done. We have a delivery tomorrow. There's
no way, yeah.
And people said, I'll do it next week instead. It's like, And that was a big culture clash for me when it came to how I was my mentality of, we just make it work. And that's coming back to when I worked at KTH. When we started KTH Innovation, it was done on a very, I give KTH all the credit for giving us, build something, we don't know what it has to be, we know it has to serve the university, it's something new that hasn't existed before, do it over there, so if it fails, we won't take any responsibility for it ever happening.
Okay, yeah, that's
But, go do something. So we were under the KTH brand, and in of course, within the boundaries of that, we were given full autonomy to build the best possible department we could. And my boss had
You started it also?
Sorry?
You were there in the
I was, yeah,
team
I didn't start it, but I was he was one of the first people to come in from the side, from the outside. And her mentality was the same thing. Just fix it. So I'm the idea guy. I come up with all of these ideas all the time. And her mantra to me was just fix it.
Okay.
As long as you don't break anything and make sure that nobody comes to me and complains, just fix it, okay?
Yeah.
And that's how we built to what I would consider one of the best innovation offices in the world.
Okay. Yeah, that's just to clarify, the KTH Innovation is the Technical Royal Institute of Stockholm, where you deal with innovation, you also with technology transfer, you bring to life basically startup project. But that's the point, no? As long as somebody you have to deliver an actual task, that's not easy, but you see the end. When it comes to delivering a research, when it comes to bringing a big amount of work or study or research in the real world, and you're completely experimenting, how does it work? How does a deep tech startup in this case function, and how can you apply your principles to this mentoring activity that you do?
I'd say they apply very well, because we cater to anybody at the university. We have a very high deal flow. We start 400 new projects per year.
400?
400.
Okay.
Only in...
How many students?
You mean in the university?
Yeah.
We're quite small, 15,000.
15,000 And out of the 50,000, 400 new projects each year start.
Yeah, well, we don't make a difference between students and researchers.
Okay, yeah,
so we have 15,000 students and 3,500 in research. We have 53 research centers all around us. And we cater to everyone. So as long as you have a KTH logotype, you're good to go. And we meet them very early. Hey, I have an idea. I want to fix something. Cool. Then you come to us, meet me and one of my 9 colleagues. We're 9, soon 10 business coaches. And then we will help you as a coach, guide, Sherpa, call us what you want, through the process of understanding, is this going to work or not? How is it going to work? And how are we going to build something that works? And that process is something we've built now over these years. And I think it's the process itself is what makes us, I won't say unique, but makes it work so well. And to your question then is that if they come to us, the first thing that we do is start to figure out, okay, but how is this going to work? How do we make this work? Who wants it? And it's not about, that's the first thing we do. We need to flip the mindset from what they want to build to what somebody else wants to buy.
Okay.
Because usually people have a very sort of solution-oriented mindset. Look, I've invented a thing, or I want to do this. I don't care what you want to do. I want to care what somebody else wants. So then we kick them out. The first thing we do is we kick them out. Go speak to customers, and they go, what's that? Exactly. And then, and hit the market, speak to customers, speak to industry, understand what's going on. Is there a place for your idea in the world or not? Yes or no, now or later. Sometimes it's too little too late and they have to close down and do something else. Sometimes it's too early and they have to reiterate. And sometimes it's just, So then that's the early stage. The first stage of our process is validation of market, customer, business model, technology, people. People, ideas don't realize themselves. It's people that realize ideas. So we do a lot of recruitment.
Okay.
Sometimes the people who come with the ideas aren't the same people who will commercialize it. They might be on board as a technical CTO or something, but not necessarily the founder, CEO.
Well,
but that's what they want. It depends on what they want to do as well and how they want to do it. But you have to also, this is important for the people listening as well, that in Sweden, we're a world unique situation, because we have something called the professor's privilege or the teacher's exception, where everybody at a university that does research or studies, they own their ideas 100%.
Yes?
We don't own anything.
Okay.
It's tax funded. We help you for free. We don't take anything of your idea. You own everything yourself.
Okay,
So my job is an early stage business developer. I'm trying to help you succeed, and I have no incentives to decide who I help or not. I help everyone equally.
But then does the university also somehow invest?
No.
Zero.
Nothing.
It helps getting creating the perfect package for finding investor, for finding market and everything. But
we do everything. And then the thing is, we're fully tax funded.
Okay.
So everything is Sweden. All education in Sweden is free. I get paid to help people for free. And then the idea is that they come to us. We help them commercialize successfully. They start fantastic companies that employ lots of fantastic people that pay incredibly good taxes, and it all comes back into the system again. And people might say we're crazy, but obviously being actually, again, on the index, number 1 on innovation, obviously we're doing something right. Something is working.
Of course, we're very jealous of that. We are a bit...
but that's why I'm here. We're going to fix this.
That's amazing.
We're here to fix this, people.
And that's why they say that you are the star coming from the Sweden, just to enlighten. No, except jokes. You've seen, I don't remember how many, but you say 400 projects per year.
Yeah.
So you probably coached more than 400
Yeah.
as well, startups and stuff. What are the main challenges that they face? What is the main problem that you see when you coach them? Of course,
it's a very good question, but it has very many different dimensions of answers. One answer is, of course, the people who come to us, they are students and researchers for a reason. They've gone to academia because they want to do research, not because they maybe want to start a company. That's changed actually now, because when we started KTH Innovation way back, one of our vision targets on the whiteboard was we want people to apply for KTH because KTH Innovation exists. I just met a guy down here.
From KTH?
No, he's an Italian investor.
Okay.
He recommended that his son do his master's at KTH because we exist.
Okay.
So, now. So, No, so the people who come now, it's changing, of course. But so one is a mindset, right? Because they're very sort of, okay, I've done my research. I don't know what to do now. I don't know how to, because they don't have an experience of running a business. So that's one big challenge, and that's like a more of a abstract, intangible mindset thing, sort of. That doesn't mean it's not going to work. It's just something that's not there yet. And then, of course, usually they're very, solution driven. Sometimes they are a finished solution looking for a problem. And, they're trying to apply their technology on things, which is the wrong way around, because then they're not starting with the need, they're starting with the approach. And you have to start with, what do people actually want? So that's a big challenge, and flipping that side as well. And then it's all of the small challenges. How do we, going from something that works in the lab to something that's production grade that can be released is a huge challenge. I do a lot of work with food. I'm one of the food coaches, so I do a lot of food startups. And one thing, starting something making something in the kitchen is okay, but moving from that to a 12 to 18 month shelf life in the supermarket is a huge challenge. And where do you produce it? And how do we get money to produce that? And do we take the risk? And how do we get it out in the market? And distribution, distribution is also one thing. How do we distribute it? How do we scale it? There's so many challenges that we have to go through. But I say one of the biggest challenges of all is the whole idea of, it's so easy to come up with an idea. Everybody listening here has probably come up with an idea.
Yeah.
And then
there are websites for doing that.
What do I do now? My brain is damaged because I'm in the soup, so I come up with ideas all the time. But it doesn't mean that I know how to fix them. But of course I know some shortcuts now. And then very quickly I do also sort of, is this worth doing? How much time and money will I spend doing it? What can I get back from that? They do this fast equation thing. Very many people, they overestimate the value of their idea and they underestimate the value.
And that's the biggest mistake that you see.
Oh yeah, that's the one biggest mistake they do, is that they always think that their idea is incredible, and but they have only asked like themselves or their mother, and of course they'll say it's great. And then when we force them to ask the world, they realize that nobody else likes it. That's the biggest problem technical founders have, is that they spend 2 years building something and they're expecting everybody to love it. And then they release it and that tanks because nobody wants it or nobody understands it. I've done that myself. I've released, 3, 4, 5 things where we've all said, this is the best thing ever. This is amazing. And there's no signups, and people think that and that's another challenge. They think that once they've built it, they're finished. It's once they've built it, that's when it starts.
And since you followed so many projects, the one that you said, this is gonna scale and grow so big, and actually was a flop. Is there some?
Oh yeah. But that's another. That's another thing, because I work so early stage. I'm always wrong.
Okay.
I think things are going to be fantastic and they tank, and I think things are never going to work and they're incredible. So I've learned, shut up.
Shut up.
Don't have an opinion. Help them meet their potential customers and market, and let the customers and market decide if it's going to work or not. I have no say in that. And that's a problem we have. I'm pointing this direction because I met some people, not here, but previously, in Italy, where they think that they know enough to say if something's going to work or not. And they kill things too early, or they let stupid things pass.
Okay.
And I just say, stop doing that. You have no idea. You cannot, it's 10 years from now to market. You don't have any idea. Let it pass and let the process and the market decide.
It's also not easy to wait 10 years working on a project to discover at the end that it's a flop.
No, but that's the challenge with deep tech today, is that we need to have a bit longer, but that's another thing. Just because it's deep tech doesn't mean that we have to wait 10 years. It might take 10 years until it's in the actual operations there, but we're not going to wait 10 years to speak to customers. We speak to customers day one in deep tech as well, to see, is this something which is aligned with your future, and to see if there is an interest or not.
And since we are here at the Bologna Gathering, that is the event that gathers together investors from abroad, bringing them to Bologna and mingling with the Italian ecosystem, is there some radical differences or things that you spotted between the Italian and the Swedish system in this case that you say, okay, if you just...
Well, yes and no. I mean, I'd say it's... I heard some talks this morning when they were going through, you know, all the specific Italian problems in the system and this and this and this. But I visited maybe 40 countries in the world and listened to 40 exact word-by-word things where they use exactly the same excuses. Oh, we can't do it because it's this. Oh, we don't. Oh, we're afraid of failure. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And I'm saying, look, there's nothing special with your excuses. Everybody has. Even Sweden says...
But can it be that our market is relatively smaller since...
No.
No. Okay, because this is one of the excuses that they use.
No. I'll tell you what Italians' biggest problem is.
Yeah.
You have two things. One, you have the same problem that every other European country has. You are not European, you're Italian. We're Swedish, he's German, she's French. We are not European. There's no European market. We do everything nationally.
Yeah,
there is no European market. That's number one. And number two, and this is the big mistake you're making in Italy. And I'm going to say this in my talk when I'm on the panel. Yeah, drum roll.
Yeah.
Sweden is a tiny country. How many people live in Rome?
2 million.
2?
Yes.
Okay. Is that the biggest city in Italy?
Italy only has 2 cities above 1 million. One is Milan, 1 million and something.
But it's like 60 million people in Italy, right?
That's the problem. But have you seen the shape of Italy? We have Apennines in the middle, we have Alps. It's impossible to manage also logistically. Yeah.
Anyway, Sweden is a tiny country with 10 million people. So there is no market.
Yeah.
There is no market. Plus that Sweden is the one country in Europe that is, well, we're the most Americanized, but where everybody speaks English, almost all the time. I speak English at work all the time. I come to Italy and I meet a startup down here. And I say, oh cool, what's your ambition? We want to be a big startup. Okay, why is your homepage in Italian?
Yeah.
You think you have a market. You think the market is big enough, so you build Italian companies. You don't build European companies. You don't build global companies. You build Italian companies and they get stuck in that small, space. And then to go from there to build it into a global company is a huge shift. I mean, why is your homepage in Italian? I don't speak Italian. How are you going to sell to Swedes or English people?
That's 100% true. Yeah.
So you make the mistake of thinking that Italy is enough, and then you build companies that aren't built for scaling.
Yeah,
that's my short answer.
We take it.
I can give you now loads of other things. Loads of other. I mean, then we can talk about the whole triple helix thing: academia, and government, and industry. They're supposed to like each other, not hate each other.
That's also true. But I completely see what you're saying, and it's true. If you want to make a test of your product, the biggest place where you can do it, it's Rome.
I really don't like making American analogies. I don't like that because we should have our own analogies. And now we actually do, in Sweden at least. But so if I did the American one, it was like, I mean, nobody on the West Coast in the US would say that Stanford doesn't count. That's a stupid place to be. Or Berkeley, or Yale or Harvard. What a stupid place. I mean, nobody would say that, right? MIT, that's a university. Well, academics, MIT, don't listen to them. That never happens. In Sweden now, KTH is the powerhouse of innovation, and I won't call it unicorn factory. Other people call it that. But the universities we are an ingrained part of the whole new economy thing going on, and people get that. But we are open to that. We need industry. We need government support. We need everything, and everybody's now hooking arms, and we're building it together. When I come to Italy, everybody's going academia. What are you doing over there? And academics are going business. Stupid thing. You're not supposed to hate each other. Same family, for Christ's sake.
Okay.
Make it work.
Make it work.
It's like having kids. Shut up. Be friends. I didn't mean to hit them. It was just figurative. I've never hit a kid.
This is why it's so true. But we want to end with a positive note.
That was a positive note.
That was a positive note, but even better, something we wanna end each episode with a good news from the innovation ecosystem that doesn't point finger on Italian being not good enough, because we know that we know 100%, and this is completely.
No, but the thing is, I'm saying this because we know what we need to do. We know what we need to do, so now we just need to do it. And one thing I will say, and this is said, I mean, I'm saying this in the best possible way, and this is something we've been fighting with in Sweden for so many years. And there's an expression in Sweden where, you know, when you put on the victim's coat, and you see yourself as a victim, and it's always everyone else's fault and the circumstances, and it's because, and then you have all of these excuses. You have to get out of the coat and take command over your own future. Italy has the most incredible history in engineering. You build supercars people pay 5 million euros for Christ's sake.
Around the corner.
You build fighter planes. I mean, it's incredible. You have manufacturing, which is... You have an amazing industrial and engineering heritage. All you need to do is shift your mindset a bit to the next wave of, the next wave of engineering and the next wave of everything, and you'll be there. So, I mean, and for Europe, I mean, I will say that one very positive note is that now that they've started this whole new sort of 28 states, when they've started a 28 state in Europe, which is a European state, because the problem today in Europe, the big problem with having no European market, is that you can't start, scale, grow, exit a company in Europe. You exit nationally. If you go on a stock exchange, it's a national stock exchange. Or you go to NASDAQ, but then you go to the US again. There's no European stock exchange. There's no European exit. But once we get the 28 state going and we build European companies, I'm hoping that we're going to see also European exits, which will be so much bigger in numbers as well.
Donnie, we could talk and we could keep it going for maybe
4 hours.
Maybe 4 hours, maybe a drink. But unfortunately we have to stop here. So people, if they want to know a bit better Donnie, he has an amazing podcast that's called Innovation Fika every Wednesday morning, live also.
Yep.
You can find him anywhere on LinkedIn and on YouTube also, maybe, whatever.
Yeah, but LinkedIn is always best.
Go follow Donnie on LinkedIn. You can find all the other episodes that are on our YouTube channel on AlmaCube. And thank you very much. Enjoy the
Thank you so much. It was great being here.
Thank you, Donnie.